Hey there, I'm again here with new videos, which is based on again on some questions which are very important and often get repeated in board examination. I'm making these videos because you have a term 2 examination very nearby, and I'm covering those syllabus first which are coming in term 2. So let's start with, and one more thing which I want to clear out. I have shared four questions in this video along with the answers. But these answers are not given in the points. I have taken out the paragraph from a textbook, pasted over here, and I have highlighted all those important points which are there in that paragraph for the question which is shown here, right? So you will find it easy to take out answer directly from your textbook if you are sitting with your textbook, right? So, what are the problems confronted by cotton textile industry in India? This is one question which often get repeated in CBSE board exams, right? And your answer is erratic power supply and old machinery. The first point here is power supply is erratic and old machineries. Now we have to try to understand here when uh, looms or when the thread, or yarn, when they are moving in the machine with a great speed, right? And all of a sudden, if electricity goes away or goes off, so the all the loom or thread, which is moving with a very high speed, it gets break down, and then it has to be tied manually. In this process, what happened, all those knots, they are very much visible in textile, and when you touch your garment, you can easily make out how many knots you can see in that. So that gives a very poor quality of textile, and obviously if the your quality of a textile is very poor, the demand for that cloth will decrease or will go down in market. It will lose its competitiveness there itself. So proper supply of what electricity is very important in cotton textile industry. Then machinery. We have a very old and inefficient machineries which is being running. These factories are being run since the time of Britishers, or just after the independence they have started, and that they have not yet changed the new machines, right, with the new machines. So ultimately, what happened? The old and inefficient machinery doesn't give the proper output, and even the quality of product get deteriorated. So this is one problem which is associated with the cotton textile industry, that is erratic power supply and old machinery. Now the second one again, which I have already discussed in previous video also, where we discussed about that low output of labor in some other industry. This point is again repeated here, that we have a very low output of a labor. As I explained earlier also, if you'll hire a labor to do a woodwork in your home, or some other kind of work, or maybe painting in your work, or if you want to change something in your house, and when you hire these people, individual laborers, they complete their work, which need to be done within 1 or 2 days. They takes maybe 15 days, 20 days, or even sometimes more than that, and you keep on hanging in those messy house, because that is because the output of labor in our country is really very low, right? They just don't want to work, and during the working time they often uh, take a break for a tea again and again, going washroom again and again, then achieving something for lunch, right? And one after, you will see the output, the total output of labor in any field, right? Those who comes from an unorganized sector, it's very poor. Then last point is stiff competition from a synthetic fiber. So why cotton textile industry has a stiff competition from uh, synthetic fiber, that we have to understand. See, majority of population in any country, they are either middle class, lower middle class, or very poor class. right? Cotton, a good quality cotton, cost a lot. You can take a simple example of your father's shirt, which is of cotton, good quality cotton. That must be from one or the other company like Arrow, or you are going for a MNS. If you are going for a Indian Terrain, right? They cost sometime 2,000 for one shirt, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 7,000. These are the cost of one cotton, good quality cotton shirts, you know. And if you'll see, if you'll make use of that shirt, if your father is using that shirt on a regular basis, it get faded within 1 year. So, and on the top of that, without iron one cannot wear it, right? So it needs a proper maintenance. And on the top, above all, it cannot go more than 1 or 1.5 year, or maybe 2 years, right? If you are wearing occasionally. So can a poor people who belong to a majority portion of your population can afford it? No. Everyday ironing they will not do, right? They want fixed color, means which do not get fade. So they just wash their synthetic shirt, hang it on the this they display it in their balcony, or for a drying up, right? They do, it doesn't need any ironing, it doesn't need any maintenance, right? And they keep on wearing for 2 years, 3 years, and likewise. So that synthetic is, and on the top of that, the shirt which is made out of synthetic fiber cost very low. So poor majority of population goes with synthetic one than the going for a cotton textile or cotton shirt. So these are the three problems which are associated with the cotton textile industry: erratic power, old machinery, low output of labor, and stiff competition from a synthetic fiber, right? Now we have second question: why irons why is iron and steel industry called basic industry? State the problem faced by industry, this industry, right? Why do you why do we call iron and steel industry as a basic industry? See, if somebody is running cotton textile industry, right? Machines are made out of what? Iron and steel. If somebody is heavy running sugar industry, those machines are made out of what? Iron steel industry. Be it is XYZ, any industry, all the machines they are made out of iron steel. So obviously it's a base for rest all industry. Not only that, the house in which you are living, school where you are studying, all construction work that needs a iron rods. The pillars need iron, right? So no infrastructure, whether dam, road, railway line, anything, nothing can be prepared without iron steel. So it's a base to other industry. Rest all industries, machines and infrastructures are developed with the help of iron and steel industry, and that's why we call it basic industry. Right. Now the second part of your question is, what are the problem faced by this industry? See, mining iron ore, purifying it in a furnace, rolling it, making a sheets, and various other shapes, right? That cost, that will take a lot of money. It will consume a huge amount of capital, right? And that's why this industry is a very high cost industry. We all know it's a very large scale industry. It's a basic industry, and it costs a lot. So it's very costly. Correct. Now, a limited availability of coking coal, if you are aware of, then iron and steel, iron ore, when it get purified and we get iron, right? We need to add limestone as well as coking coal into it. These are raw material to create iron steel. Not only iron ore, we need limestone also, and we need a coking coal also, which is available in India in very limited amount. So this is again problem with us, right? So the first one, limited availability of coking coal and high cost. Now the second one, lower productivity of labor, which we have discussed so many times. The labor in India is not that productive, right? They don't do their work sincerely. Again, here lower productivity of labor means especially the one who comes from unorganized sector. Now the third one, irregular supply of energy. See, if I am running an industry, paying a labor for a 6 hour, 8 hour, or 9 hour, right? And I don't have a electricity in that area. So my laborers are sitting. They have no work because machine cannot work without energy. So that is a loss to a entrepreneur, you know. So that is another third factor which is a problem. This is third problem which is related with the iron steel industry, right? So you can see some of them are getting repeated, like lower productivity of labor or low output of labor. It was there in cotton also, and the previous question also, irregular supply of energy or electricity, it's here also, and previous chapter was also. The poor infrastructure we have here, and it was there in earlier industries also, right? So there are some of the problems which are getting repeated in every industry. Poor infrastructure means we don't have a proper roadways, railways, uh, trade, the transport system is not well. The whole industry is means lacking in electricity, banking, insurance. All these, this all comes under the law and order, right? These, if these all things are poor in the a region, so obviously that will discourage being having a industry in particular area, right? So the 5 points: high cost, right? Limited availability of coking coal, lower productivity of labor, uh, irregular supply of energy, right? And poor infrastructure. These are the five problems, sorry, four problems which are associated with the iron steel industry. Now let's move to the next question. Mention any three main features of chemical industry, right? So we have only three or four paragraph in the textbook. I have taken down these three paragraphs. Now if you can recall, during the COVID, right, we realized that China is dumping all its chemical product in India. And the when government of India realized, we have banned many of their chemical product in Indian market, uh, because inflow of their chemical product, our chemical products were not in sale and not getting market in India, right? So that was one thing. So after doing so, the and growing the chemical industry and diversifying it into a mini thing, right? Even the large scale and small scale manufacturing unit has increased and grown in India, right? You can see we have a inorganic as well as organic chemical industry in India. Inorganic one, which is made out of chemicals, are totally artificial chemicals. Organic one, which is based on fossil fuel, right? In inorganic chemical include sulfuric acid, right? Where we manufacture fertilizer also, synthetic fiber, we make plastic out of it, adhesive, that is fevicol, if you are aware of, right? Not only fevicol, there are so many, but I'm just giving one example. Paint, dye stuff, right? These all comes, soap, detergent, so many things, paper, they all need, the ink of your newspaper, they all comes from this chemical industry, you know. Then organic chemicals include petrochemicals. So you will find majority of organic chemical units, they are settled near the refineries, because they are the byproduct of petrochemicals which are used for manufacturing of synthetic fibers, synthetic rubber, plastic dye, drugs, pharmaceuticals. Organic chemical plants are located near oil refineries and petrochemical plants. As I said, it's a byproduct of these industry, right? Now one more thing which I want to tell. See, when we make a cake, you know, and we say ki, I'm going to use a vanilla essence. So if I'm using a vanilla essence, am I using a really vanilla essence in India? You know the cost of vanilla in international market, it's as good as silver. The cost of silver and the cost of vanilla is same in international market, and we most of the time Indian cannot afford it. So what we get essence, vanilla essence from the market, that is something made chemically. It's a chemical. It's actually not a vanilla. If you really want to buy a vanilla, you have to order it from Amazon, and you will get a bean of vanilla which you have to scratch and just mix it and add it to your cake or your ice cream, whichever you want to make, right? So the one which we use from that bottle is a chemical which comes from a chemical industry, right? The chemical industry is its own largest consumer, the chemical energy itself is a largest consumer of its own product. Like the one chemical industry, when it produces a certain amount kind of chemicals, that is again made use of in other chemical industry, right? There are so many chemical industries who produce a raw material. That raw material is their own final product, but whatever final product of this chemical industry, first chemical industry, is a input of in other chemical industry, right? So basic chemical undergo processing to further produce and other chemicals that are used for industrial applications, right? Sometimes it is used in agriculture sector for making a pesticide and all, sometimes fertilizers, right? Sometimes if I'm talking about the vanilla essence that directly consumer make use of it, there are some which are used in paint companies, right? Some which are used in dye companies, right? So there are variety of chemicals which are available in our country, and these three highlighted color one, which you can make use of for this answer. Now we have last question, that is agriculture and industry are not exclusive of each other. Elucidate. Or sometimes they may write discuss, describe, explain, justify your answer with the help of examples, right? So these are the way of asking question, but answer remains same. Again, this paragraph is from your textbook. All those answers which I have shown you, that is a paragraph from your textbook, and the highlighted portion which is an answer which you are supposed to take down or underline in your textbook, right, as it is. Now here I have written 1 2 3 because this all the lines were one after the others. So to differentiate, I have written 1 2 3 in between, right? The first point here, agro industry in India have given a major boost to agriculture by raising its productivity. As a farmer, think of this. Farmer knows if he is growing a potato, and the moment he will harvest, it will be purchased by some industrialist, like the one who makes a potato chips, right? Or bhujia or anything, right? So whether that's people from a Lay's company or people from a Haldiram or any other bhujia making company, right? If they are buying and they are this farmer is getting the money in advance from these industrialists, it means he is economically safe, and he don't have to roam around in the market to sell his product, right? So this is how the productivity increase. He's economically very secure, and he knows that he has to increase his productivity by adding uh, high yielding variety seed, by using fertilizer, by using irrigation facilities in his field, because he knows that he has a confirmed income from that output, right? This is your first one. Key. These no agro based industry, they give a boost to agriculture, right? The second one, they depend on later for raw material and sell their product, such as irrigation. Like, see, agro based industry, they are depending on agriculture sector for a raw material. Which are those agro based industries are? Sugarcane, sugar industry, cotton, jute. They're all agro based industry. If the agriculture sector will not provide the raw material to them, they will not exist, right? And the second, see, the two things are going together. Now Agriculture sector is depending upon the industry to provide irrigation pumps, fertilizers, insecticide, pesticide, plastic, PVC pipes, machine, tools, etc. So tractor, thresher, drip irrigation facilities, sprinklers, right? High yielding variety seed, fertilizers, pesticide, insect. They are all manufactured in industry, right? So the farmer is getting it from the secondary sector. Now look at this. The development of competitiveness of manufacturing industry has not only assisted, this is third point, assisted agriculture in increasing their production, but also made the production process very efficient. Because agriculture sector is using all these tools from a manufacturing industry, this means their whole work has become very smooth and efficient. They don't have to rely on somebody to do their work, right? Or get their work done. On the top of that, the whole process of agriculture has become very efficient, be it from sowing seed till harvesting. Everything can be done by machine. But again, there is one thing: the modernization of agriculture vary from place to place, right? So these were 3 points, right, which helps, it means which shows that agriculture and industries are going hand in hand and they are helping each other. So with this, I end up this video, and I'll come again with a next set of questions which often get repeated in your board examination. Thank you.